Hi, I'm Lynette and welcome. Today I'm just going to be putting on makeup and I thought that I would film it. I'm really not going to be using anything new except, I mean it's new to me, it's not a new palette. This is the Faced Papaya Pop eyeshadow palette. And it's one of the palettes I picked up in my birthday haul. And that is what it looks like. And yeah, and then I might use a couple of my new Fude brushes that I also picked up during my birthday haul. But yeah, aside from that, I'm really not going to be using any new products. I'm not even really going to be talking about the products that I'm using. I'm going to do my eyeshadow look, but it's not going to be like a tutorial. I'm just going to be talking to you while I'm putting on my makeup. So if that's something you would be interested in, I would be honored if you join me and just get ready with me. Okay, so I zoomed you in a little bit closer. And so, like I said, I'm going to be using this Too Faced Papaya Pop palette, which I think the colors are so pretty. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly swatch it for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's got 6 shadows in it. And I'm working with this monitor that I'm going to stop working with because ooh, see that duochrome right there? Pretty, very, very glittery shade. That's the one that has like the most texture. Let's see if I can build it up just a little bit. Yeah, that one has the most texture of all of the shadows in it. It's like it's got like little particles of glitter in it, but it's the only one of the shadows that's like that. And like I said, I'm working with this monitor I bought that I'm going to stop using because I didn't realize that everything on the monitor is inverse, shows inverse. So whatever's on my left side in my screen on the monitor, it's on the right and vice versa. And that's why I look crazy when I'm trying to do swatches and stuff, because everything is opposite in the monitor that it is in real life. So that was a faux pas on my end. And unfortunately, I got it from Amazon and I threw away the box and everything because I'm like, oh, this is great. And then when I realized the problem, I had already thrown out the box and everything, so I can't even take it back because otherwise I would take it back. So those are the swatches, and it's a really pretty palette. Ever since it came out, I've been interested in the color story. And so yeah, so that's the palette I'm going to use today. You know, I have another one of these little palettes, the Razzle Dazzle palette, that I still have yet to use. Just like that palette, this one smells good also. I don't know what papaya smells like, but this smells good. So if it smells anything like this palette, it's a good smelling fruit. So let me just wipe these off, and now I'm going to go in with this eyeshadow palette. Now I haven't really been doing any real intricate looks. Not that I think I've ever really done intricate looks on my channel. I'm going to start off with this nice peachy shade right here. I did compare that shade to the one in the new Pat McGrath Rose Decadence palette, and they're very different. This one is a lot peachier than the one in the Pat McGrath palette. Hi, sorry for the interruption, but I didn't realize that I did not use an eyeshadow primer, and me and my oily skin and eyeshadow will not work together without an eyeshadow primer. So I had to go on ahead and take off this look and start over. I had been talking about my busted birthday plans due to COVID. So now I'm just going to pick up where I left off, but this time with an eyeshadow primer. Okay, take two. I decided to take that off. Oh, that's too much. I decided to take that off and start over because I really didn't want to play myself by not using any primer, because I need a primer, okay? I need a primer. And these shades, like that purple, was pretty dark, but I think I'm gonna get a little more vibrancy out of them with my base. This is the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 3. And I think perhaps those shadows won't be as soft as they were when I was applying them just now without primer. So we shall see what happens. At least, you know, it'll be interesting to see the difference that the base will make. And I put it on, as you can see, kind of thick today. So we'll see how this works out. But yeah, I need a primer. I cannot, especially if it's hot outside, I can't not be without a primer. So we're just gonna do this again. So anywho, where was I? Talking about my fabulous European trip that never took place. So yeah, so I Zoomed with some friends and colleagues, well, my colleagues who are all my friends, on my birthday. And I was so glad I did, because I felt better. I actually felt better after that. I think I'm gonna take the light shade here, this one right here, and kind of set under my brow with it. And I'll be using some dirty brushes to do that. Ooh, yeah, it's gonna be real light under my brow, because this Rumor 3 shade is pretty light. And I have not let I'm sure I should, I have not let the base dry completely down, simply because I don't have the patience to wait for it to dry down completely. But I would suggest, you know, unless you're working with an eyeshadow that you think you're gonna have difficulty with it adhering to the skin, and you need a tacky base for it, I would suggest you let this base set before you go in with any shadows. I actually might I'm gonna set the whole eye. So yeah, so I ended up Zooming on my birthday. Had a couple of homemade cocktails and felt really good about it. And then the hubster and I ordered dinner from my favorite local restaurant, and you know, we had it here at home, and the food was delicious. Now I'm just gonna go back with those same eyeshadows that I started with, and let's see if I get a little different effect. No, don't look like it. Looks like it's gonna be just as soft as it was. So yeah, so dinner was really good, and then I decided to go live on YouTube to show you what I got in my birthday haul, because you know, I was feeling some kind of way about not being able to go on my trip. And so I decided, well, if I can't go away like I want to, then I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna buy myself some gifts. And I thought, I can buy this, I can buy that, I can buy this, I can buy that, and I still won't have spent as much as I would have going to Europe. This is how I justify my spending. So I bought a whole bunch of eyeshadow palettes, this being one of them, and then I bought some Fude brushes. I don't know, I just like saying it like that. Fude brushes that I don't even want to use because I don't want to mess them up. I don't want to get them dirty. I know, I got problems. So that's looking, yeah, see how that primer just punches it up a little bit. Definitely looked more soft without the primer, and still soft but more pigmented, and I don't feel like I need to dip back into the palette as much. So yeah, so the live, I hadn't been live in a long time because I don't know, I don't do lives very often. I don't know why. Something, I guess, maybe about committing to a live. You say you're going to do it on this date at this time, and then you need to do it on that date at that time. Whereas filming, you know, I have committed to Saturdays. That's the only day I've committed to putting up a video. But, you know, I could film it on a Wednesday, I could film it on a Tuesday or Monday or any day before Saturday, just as long as I give myself enough time to edit and post it by the due date. So, but yeah, I did the live, and oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Those of you that were able to join me, it was a blast. And I find that now that I'm going to other people's lives, like I'm watching other people's lives in real time more often, because before I didn't watch lives. You guys, you let me know, you know, how you feel about lives before COVID and now during COVID, because before COVID I wasn't really trying to watch lives because I don't know, you know, because a whole lot, I'm there for a certain thing, like, oh, she's going to use this palette. So that's what I want to see. I don't want to see her saying hello to everybody and chit-chatting. And even the replay, I'm going to go in with this shade now, right here, right there. Even the replays, like I would watch on the replay, but then the replay would be like an hour, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this for 2 hours. But a lot of people started going live during COVID, and I see why, because, you know, with a lot of people home and isolated, I know I was quarantined and everything. You're not seeing your friends, you're not seeing your family, you're not seeing your coworkers even. And so going live was a way to connect with people. Now, no, you don't see anyone during your live. It's just they're chatting. But you're getting actual human interaction in real time, unlike when you're filming a video. Yeah, I'm still sitting here talking essentially to myself, to a camera. But during a live, you have people in the comments, in the chat, actively chatting with you and with other people in the chat. And you can ask them a question, and in real time, they'll answer you, you know? So it was really a way to connect. Okay, so those two eyeshadows, once they're on the eye, look exactly the same. Like, I can't tell the difference between this lighter pink shade that I'm starting off here in the inner corner of my crease, and I can't tell the difference between it and the crease shade that I just put on once they're blended together. So, and this here is really stark, so I'll have to try to tone that down later on. So yeah, this video is going to be 3 hours long. But this gives you at least a good idea of how long it takes me to actually do an eyeshadow look, because I film my tutorials, but you know, I don't cut out any steps that have to do with the actual, except for the liner and the lashes, but the actual eyeshadow application, I don't cut out any steps, but I will like shorten the time, because you know nobody these days really is even checking for tutorials. So, and a lot of people today already know how to do their makeup, so they just want to see what you did and what they can do to recreate a look, not necessarily want you to show them how to apply eyeshadow and blend and all that stuff. So I do cut it, I edit it for time, and then this way you'll get to see like how long it actually takes me to do my eyeshadow. Yeah, so since quarantine and all of that, a lot of people started going live as a way to connect. That personal connection was missed, and especially if you live alone and you were quarantining, like my girlfriend, you know, who I talked about, celebrated her 40th birthday. She's single, and she was like, oh my God, I can't wait till this is over, and I'm kind of looking forward to the office opening. That feeling didn't last long, but she's like, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to going back to the office and like seeing people again. So yeah, so I started watching people's lives, and there's a lot of people now that go live like a particular day at a particular time, and you go on the lives and you see, I'll see my subscribers in there, because my subscribers, I think, pretty much subscribe to all of the channels that I've subscribed to. So you'll go to the live and you'll be in the chat and you'll see all the people that you see in your videos. And somebody had mentioned it in one of the chats about how it was like family and like seeing familiar faces, even though of course you're not seeing anyone's actual face, but you know, and that's what it feels like. It's like, oh yeah, hey, so and so. You go in the chat and you start, hey, what's up, da da da, and you're all watching the YouTuber together, and you're all just interacting together. So it's been really nice. It's been really nice. You let me know if you would like me to do more lives. I know when I first did my first couple of lives, I had a couple of people say, oh yeah, when's your next live? You know, like they were into it. So I don't know, I might be more into doing it too. And then doing a live, you know, you don't have to edit and do all that other stuff. So it's an easier thing to do as well. Now I'm going to go in with that beautiful sparkly shade on my lid. And it's that one right there, that beautiful duochrome. And I'm going to, if I find my brush, I'm going to wet it. I don't know if I have enough of my thingy here, but we're gonna see. Ooh, wow, look at that. Look at the glitter. The glittery goodness on there. Do you see that? But I am going to, yeah, I'm going to spray it. Actually, I should use glitter glue. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little glitter glue. I'm like doing the absolute most with this eye look, aren't I? And put that on my lid. And this will help with the fallout. Any fallout too, because I suspect there will be fallout. So yeah, so tell me what you think of lives. Do you like lives? Would you be for me doing? First I'm going to do it without wetting it, and then we're going to see. Then I may wet it if I feel like I need to. Ooh. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh my God. Oh my God, that is gorge. gorgeous. Okay, sorry. Let me know. Ooh, I don't think I need to wet this. Can you imagine if I wet it? It would look like liquid metal. Oh, let me know, you know, would you be here for me doing more lives? And it's crowded now. The live space is crowded. Then I'd have to figure out a day and a time because, you know, I can't compete with a lot of the folks that are going live. my little tiny channel can't compete because my people will be wanting to go to the other people's channels like, oh Lord, that's cute, Lynette's doing a live, but my girl over here is doing her live. So let me know what you would want to see, if that's something you'd be interested in. Oh my, oh wow, yeah, I had big expectations for that shade and it did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. And the glitter glue was definitely a good move. Definitely a good move. Yeah, gorgeous. Gorgeous. I'm just gonna pat now here to try to blend that purple in to this lid shade. And I don't know, it's a little difficult. Difficult, so I'm just gonna try to pat it in there. Oh, there's some purple in this glitter shade. I mean, it's not a glitter, you know, it's not a glitter, but it definitely has glitter particles in it. But there's some champagne gold and some pink and some purple, and it is absolutely gorgeous. That was a good choice. You see how dark it is on this side? This eye. The problem eye, the problem child, so to speak. Yeah. Nice. Real nice. So yeah, the hubster had a birthday barbecue for his birthday. He also turned 50 5 days after me. And he decided, I had been asking him like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And he was like, I don't know, like, not a big deal and blah, blah, blah. And so he finally decided, actually it was my sister, we were Zooming with my family, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna come out on Sunday and, you know, we'll have cake to celebrate your birthday. And my brother, his birthday is, you know, which one, so we have the same birthday. So we're gonna celebrate all three of our birthdays, which is what we do now ever since I got married. We'll just make it a joint birthday celebration with me, my brother, and the hubster. So yeah, so that's why he was like, all right. So we invited actually one of the couples, his best friend that we were supposed to meet up in Paris with, who's also celebrating his birthday, and his brothers and his nieces and nephews came over, and it was the first time we had any friends or family over since lockdown. And we have, you know, we were in the yard, so we have a big yard, so we could physically distance. People came with masks and actually wore them at times, which was really nice. Honestly, you know, we didn't always wear our mask. And then I immediately that night, that was Sunday, immediately that night came down with a sore throat out of nowhere. But I think it's because I had been sitting in air conditioning the whole the next day, yeah. Watching TV and stuff in front of the AC. So I think that's why I got a sore throat. At least I hope that's why. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow, so I'll be sure to let him know. And he can do whatever tests are necessary. All right, so it's a lot. I feel like there's a lot going on here. This went way dramatic and way, oh my God. Okay, so my eyeshadow just fell out of the pan. Oh, it all just fell out. Wow. Okay, so good thing I have a backup. This is my NYX Blame It On Midnight. And yes, I have another one in the drawer. Oh, that was like Pat McGrath flashback right there with my with the under eye blurring powder, setting powder, because I bought that one in deep. I have it in medium. Medium is the one that I use, but I also bought it in deep, and it came with a little slight crack in it, which I thought nothing of until it all broke. Thankfully, I was able to save it. It didn't, like crumble into a million pieces or to dust. And so I was able to salvage it and put it in another container. And you best believe I am going to use it. So, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, yeah, that was the barbecue. The birthday barbecue was the first time since this whole pandemic that we had people over to the house, or that we've socialized with anyone, and it was really nice. It was like old times. Remember those days when you used to have barbecues and parties and used to see people and used to socialize? Yeah. It was like the good old days. Hopefully those days will be coming back sooner rather than later. I mean, I hope I can always work from home. I want to work from home from now on. Like, I don't even want to go back to the office ever again in life. But it'll be nice when we can get back to where we can sort of have normal lives again. You know? Oh, my eyes is sore right where? I don't know. Been having a lot of issues lately. It's not my eyes, it's my hair, it's not my hair, it's my throat. Always something. So even with the glitter glue, I had fallout. I'm sure would have had less if I had gone on ahead and sprayed my brush. But yeah, there's a good amount of glitter particles in that shadow, so I think fallout is going to be inevitable. And so is having glitter on the rest of my face for the rest of the day. So yeah, that purple got real dark real quick. If it hadn't been so dark, this would have been a much softer look, even with the glitter. So I'm just going to do some liner, and since this already took way too long, I'm gonna go ahead and do the liner off camera, and then we'll come back and we'll get to the face. Okay, so I did my liner and I went too high with it. I used a pencil liner, my Esom dual pencil liner, and I used the side aubergine, and I went up way too high on this one. So this looked really in my mind, necessitates using false lashes, but I don't feel like fooling with no false lashes. Matter of fact, I never feel like fooling with false lashes. It's been 3 years I've been practicing with them, and I still can't put them on worth nothing. I did go ahead and prime too while I was off camera. I used my Philosophy The Present, and now I'm going to add some Sephora Beauty Amplifier. This is the mattifying H2O gel primer, and this I'm just going to use a little bit, and I'm going to put that on my brows. And you got to work quickly with this stuff because it dries very fast. And yeah, I'm just gonna put that in my T-zone where I get oily quickly, because I get oily all over, but I get oily here the quickest. And this you want to pat rather than swipe, because it will ball up on you if you don't. Okay, and I just opened up a new one of my AOA sponges that I got from Shop Mercier a while ago. I just threw out the one that I've been using for months. I mean, it's really awesome how long it has lasted. And so now I'm going to go with my foundation. I forgot to put on sunscreen and I'm not going to do it now. And so I'm going to go in with two foundations. I'm not sure why. This is the Double Wear, which is in the shade M5 and 1.5, and this is the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 338. And I feel like these are both, I know this is my winter shade. I think this is my winter shade too. So I really should have gotten a darker shade. I meant to get a darker shade. Anywho, we're gonna go with this. I'm still not quite my my summer shade. For one, I don't go anywhere. Rarely do I ever leave the house, and I'm wearing sunscreen now, which is something I never really used to do. And the sunscreen is actually working because I'm still not my summer shade. So today I'm probably going to be too light. I just edited a video that I'm getting ready to post. Will probably have gone up by now, where I was like 2 shades too dark. My foundation was like 2 shades too dark because I was using my foundation in my summer shade, and I just still was not my summer shade. And I couldn't understand it. I'm like, why is my summer shade still too dark? And it's because of the sunshade. It's because of the sunscreen. Dummy, the sunscreen is actually working. So for all of those of you that may have been skeptical about whether or not sunscreen works, I'm here to tell you it does. So today I'll probably be too light because I was out, you know, in my backyard. I finally, the rest of my body, my legs, finally got some color, which I'm very happy about, because I was looking a little ghostly for this time of year. So I'm happy to have gotten a little bit of a tan. What have you been doing with your makeup during COVID? Have you been wearing a full face of makeup under your mask for, you know, if you're going out, or for those of you who are going to work, have been working, or going back to work because your offices and your businesses are now open? Or have you been taking shortcuts? Have you been taking shortcuts? Okay, I'm using the wrong, daggone it. I'm using the summer shade of the concealer when I should be using the winter shade, because, anywho, maybe I'll mix them. Have you been taking shortcuts, or are you doing a full face of makeup under your mask? I know I've been seeing people here on YouTube doing mask makeup videos, and they've been putting on a full face of makeup. And I'm like, really? Because I figure no one's going to see this much of my face, so I don't have to do anything to that part. That's been my understanding going forward here. I'm just gonna let this set for a bit before I go in and blend it out. And lately, I really, the few rare occasions when I step out of the house to go anywhere, I find that I've not been putting on makeup, really. It's gotten so bad to where I don't even put on eyebrows. Mascara, eyebrows, like absolutely nothing. And when I'm doing the most, I'll put on some eyebrows and I'll put on some mascara. But usually, I'm not even trying to do that, which is very unusual for me. And you know, the fact that it's been super hot, like every day, it's been like in the mid to high 80s. I know I don't want to be out in a full face of makeup. Not really. And I have found that I feel more comfortable going out without makeup, which is also something that's new for me. Like when we had my husband's 50th birthday barbecue, I remember, you know, getting ready. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Skin Enhancer in the shade SX13. I'm kind of using it as a color corrector, sort of, kind of, even though that's not really how this color works. So I was standing in front of my mirror getting, you know, about to get ready for the barbecue. And I asked myself, am I going to put on a full face of makeup like I would have normally done at any other occasion? And I was like, no, I'm not. And not only was it the first time that I didn't pull up, you know, beat my face prior to having over company or, you know, entertaining people, but it's the first time I didn't feel like I needed to, and I also didn't feel self-conscious about it. Now, again, we were just having over friends and family, right? So people who I didn't expect to come over and be like, oh, damn, what happened to Lynette? She looks horrible, you know? But still, normally, I would feel like really self-conscious to have anybody outside of my immediate family see me without a full beat, because I just didn't like the way I looked without any makeup. Like when I first started YouTube, the thought of getting on here and doing a get ready with me with no makeup really frightened me. And now, I don't know if it's because I'm just like, ugh, I've gotten so used to not wearing makeup now on a regular basis then I'm just like, whatever. I don't have the energy or the interest to bother doing a full beat. Or if it's just, I don't know, if my skin is looking better, or I'm feeling better about how my skin is looking, or I don't know what it is. I just know that I'm feeling better with how I look without a full face of makeup on. Now, granted, I don't look good by any means. But these days, I'm kind of like, I'm feeling okay with it. And that for me is a real first. Because normally when I look in the mirror and I just pick apart, oh my God, my dark circles, my sagging skin, I look really old and haggard. And now that I'm 50, oh. But lately, I'm just like, you know what? You don't look that bad. You don't look that bad. You know what I mean? Like, and so I did not put on any makeup. And people came over and nobody looked at me differently. Nobody was like, I didn't get that surprise reaction. I had little nephews that come over, and you know, kids are brutal. And they didn't say, Auntie, you look different. You look tired. You look, what's all those spots on your face? Like, they didn't say anything. It's like they didn't even notice Auntie didn't have on a full face of makeup. And yeah, so that just reinforced for me, like, maybe some of it is in my head about just how bad I look without makeup. Granted, like I said, I know I don't look good without makeup. I'm not saying that I look good without makeup. I don't think that. But I guess I've gotten to the point where I don't feel like I look as bad without it as I once did. And again, that might be because, you know, I'm paying more attention to it. I got a little skincare routine going on. Very little. Very little skincare routine going on. I'm looking for my face powder. And you know, maybe my skin is looking a little better now. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but ooh, gotta set under my eyes. I don't know what it is, but I'm thankful for it. I'm using the Laura Mercier powder. Oh Lord, I keep doing that. A lot of powder comes out too, so I don't need to do that. This is in the shade Honey, the new shade, and I'm going to use my sponge. I should use a brush because I always end up using way too much powder when I use my damp sponge, but that's really my preferred method, if I'm honest, of applying my under eye setting powder is with a damp sponge. But I know that with the amount of wrinkles I have under my eyes, that less is more. So, but yeah, I don't know if you can see the color, but you know, my lights are probably making it look a little lighter than it is, but it's really this like light, rich though peach color, and I'm really digging it. I'm not retiring my Pat McGrath powder, but you know, you get something new, you get a new shiny toy, and you kind of want to play with it for a little bit, so that's what I'm doing with this powder. Okay, so my battery died. That's telling me I've been at this way too long now. So I'm just using my Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade Mocha to set my face. And this is a powder I've been using for years, So yeah, so you know, you guys, you tell me, what have you been doing in terms with your makeup? Have you been going more days without doing a full face? Are you like me, somebody who used to do a beat every time? Just about, not every time, but just about, I'd say 95% of the time. Do a full beat before you went out, and you're finding that you're not really doing that as much anymore. I am going to, what am I going to do now? I feel like doing my eyelashes. So I'm going to take my Dior Maximizer 3D Lash Primer and I really need to open up a new mascara because my little sample that I bought is pretty much dried up now. But I'm gonna see if I can squeeze out one more use for the purpose of this video today, because I don't feel like getting back up right now. And use it. I feel like my sample dried up pretty quickly. I'm going to I was just about to dig up my nose. But then I realized I was on camera. Let me go ahead and bronze. This battery is dead too. Are you kidding me? Okay, I've been through 2 batteries already, so I might want to try to hurry this up because we might not make it to the end. So I did my brows and I added my mascara off camera. The mascara I'm using is the Mercier Big mascara. And so now I think I'm gonna go on ahead and try to finish up these eyes, and I'm gonna go back into the palette, and I'm gonna take that dark purple that we use on the outer V, and I'm gonna place that here on the lower lash line. I should have used the lighter color first, but too late now. I'll just have to try to clean this brush off really well. And I like how that's going on without any primer underneath. I was not expecting this eye look to be as bold and dramatic. I feel like it's dramatic. You tell me what you think of it. I wasn't expecting it to be this bold. After swatching it, and I had swatched it a few times prior to using it for the first time today, and I really thought, you know, it was the way it swatched, it was going to be really soft. Like it started off at the beginning of this video when I didn't have my eyes primed. I thought it was going to be super soft like that, but once I put the primer on, that changed pretty quickly. So yeah, if ever this was an example of why people use primers, or why it's a good idea to use a primer. Going back in with the light peachy shade that I put on the inner corner of the eye up top, and I might go in with that corally shade next, the one I put in the crease, but we'll see how this looks first. I do like this Sonia G flat definer brush. It's from the Sky eye brush set, because it's really flat, all right, and I feel like it's perfect for work under my eye on my lower lash line, because I try to keep my shadows as close or like right on my lower lash line and not go underneath it at all, because I have a lot of wrinkles under there and it's not a good look when I get a whole bunch of eyeshadow in them. At least I don't think. I know there are some people that use eyeshadow to like mask the wrinkles that they have under their eye, but I don't know. I feel like my wrinkles are just too deep and too many to try to mask, so I don't even go there. And I need to do a liner on my lash line, so I gotta figure out what that's going to be. I think I'm gonna go on with the pink. I don't feel like this is the right pink. I would prefer a softer pink, but this is what I got right now. So this is what I'm gonna use. This is the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Boots. And actually, you know, I think it's gonna work out just fine. It's not as bright. I think that's gonna work. It's not as bright as I thought it was gonna be. Trying to keep an eye on my battery too, because I'm on my last battery. Good thing I have so many, right? Okay, alright, I think that works. I'm not mad at it. I ain't mad at it. 2 points if you know what song that's from. I'm just gonna go back down here with that little light, light peach shade in the lower corner of the lash line. And now I'm gonna take this this shadow right here. This is the other. There's only 2 shimmer shades in this palette, so this is the other one, and we're gonna see what this looks like dry. Okay, that'll work. Cause you know I'm all about wetting. I'm all about wetting my shimmer shades. I'm quick to wet a shade, so doesn't look like I'm going to have to do that with this one. Okay, so that is the eye look. What do you think? I quite like it. It's giving me Pat McGrath Rose Decadence, or Rose Divine Rose 2, Divine Rose 1, Divine Rose 2 and Decadence. I feel like it's giving me those kind of vibes. All right, let's get on with the bronzer. I don't need really bronzer. Like I said, I'm gonna have a mask on, but I feel like for the purpose of this video, I will put some on. And I'm going to be using my new Koyudo BP013 brush. Look at this bad boy. Ooh, ain't she hefty? Ah, getting those white bristles. Dirty. But let's see how she applies. You saw the little bit that I put on the brush, right? Because this bronzer is no joke. We've discussed this bronzer before, and it is no joke. It takes no prisoners. So I'm just tapping it. So this brush is so fluffy and it's so soft. And you see how it's blending out this this bronzer. I like it. I know I shouldn't bring it under here. It's a bronzer, not a contour, but see how fast that went? And now I'm just gonna take my microfiber makeup remover towel, and I'm gonna try to get some of that you know, bronzer out of my bristles, because these Fude brushes, you're not supposed to be washing so much. You're supposed to just knock the color off and maybe, you know, rub it in a little towel to get the color off. She's still dirty though. Aww. But she pretty. Not only is she pretty, she's soft, and she gets the job done in minimal time. So I like that. All right, and then blush. Blush. I did pick up the CoverGirl True Blend. Did I use this yet? Did I show this to you yet? In the shade 345 Hot Frenzy. And I overpaid for this in my CVS. It was like $11.50, but ooh, look at the color. Did I show this to you already? Let's do a swatch with this stupid monitor. How pretty is that? Ooh, darker. If you have a deeper skin tone, ooh, that's gonna be gorgeous. And then I have this one from Juvia's Place, which I know you did see. This is Bella. And that is pretty too. So I think though, for the purposes of this eye look, I'm gonna go with Bella because she's a little softer. And I'm going to use another one of my Fude brushes. This is the Chikuhodo F0 That's a 3, right? I'm sure it's a 3. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the tip there. And this brush is soft. Now I talked about how short these handles are on these FO Chikuhodo brushes. Really, I think most of the Japanese made brushes that are not American or European inspired, like Sonia G has longer handles. Do I have my Sonia G blush brush here? I don't, but yeah, the handles on these brushes tend to be shorter. Look at that. Look at how it blended out that blush. How pretty. And the bristles. I'm trying not to pick up too much. The bristles are soft. Oh, these are the softest brushes I own. I got this one in the FO series, and I also got the powder brush, which is the FO1 brush, which I haven't used yet. Oh, little shedding, little. I washed these, so this is my first time using it. First time using any of my new brushes, but I did wash them first, and I didn't destroy them, thankfully. I was very concerned about destroying them. That's so pretty. It's so soft. And it's so soft. Oh, yes. Oh, nice though. I really like that. For some reason, I think this cheek, I have maybe more discoloration, hyperpigmentation on this cheek, because it always looks like I apply way more on this side than this side. And maybe I do, but this side always looks darker than this side. Let's just add a touch more, because you know, nobody's gonna see it anyway if I go out. And ooh, more hair. Ooh, she's shedding. She's shedding. Oh, I like that. I hope I don't start falling in love with these daggone brushes. I mean, of course, I want to fall in love with the brushes because I paid enough money for them. But then on the other hand, I don't want to fall in love with the brushes because I don't want to then feel like, you know, I can only use these brushes now. You know, like I get too good to use all my other just as nice, well, not as nice, but brushes that have been doing just a good job, have been doing a great job up until now. You know what I mean? So then I just wiped off that color into my makeup remover towel, and she is shedding. Hair is definitely coming out of her. So I hope, ooh, more shit. I hope that stops, because we don't want that. We don't want that. These brushes cost too much for that. Okay. And now for highlight, I think I'm just gonna go in with my Nabla Skin Glazing in the shade Lucent Jungle. And I didn't bring a highlighting brush. Are you telling me I didn't bring a highlighting brush in here? Oh, I sure didn't. One moment, please. Okay, I know I said I was going to use my Nabla, which is broken, by the way. This whole piece, this whole thing here, the highlighter itself has come completely off the platform because I dropped it. Thankfully it didn't shatter or anything, but I don't know if you can see it, but it actually moves around anyway. But I've changed my mind and I've decided to go into my Pat McGrath Rose Decadence palette, since we were talking about her, right? And I'm going to use the shade Pink Champagne, which is this one right here, that top one. I've really been enjoying, I'm gonna use this big fluffy like Delium toothbrush. I've really been enjoying using the shades in the Decadence and, you know, the Rose Decadence and the Divine Rose 2 palette as blushes and highlighters, which is something, see how pretty that is? Which is something I don't normally do. I don't even normally think to do that with my eyeshadow palettes, but yeah, this one just kind of just says do that. You see that? Pretty, pretty, pretty. I don't really need any more, but you know, I'm gonna put some more on anyway. But see how pretty that is? Look at that glow. She's got that glow. These videos are always a mess. These get ready with me videos are always a mess. And now I'm gonna do a lip. Gonna take this off. I am gonna, you know, come back and wrap up this video. I'm gonna take my hair out and try to look somewhat like a human being. It's probably 2 hours later and probably no one is even still here watching this video at this point, but in the event that you are, I'm gonna go and have you see what I look like, you know, when it's all said and done. When the hair and everything is together. This is my Burt's Bees lip balm in mango. I don't use anything fancy schmancy when for lip balm. I was thinking about this is MAC Plum lip liner, and I'm going in with my Pat McGrath Mini Divine Rose lip gloss. I don't feel the need to get fancy with my lip balms. I did think about getting one of the Pat McGrath lip balms because it was on sale. But I chose not to. And you know, I really don't need a fancy lip balm. My Burt's Bees works just fine. I do though want to get a couple, or maybe like a set, like the nude set of the new Pat McGrath lip shines, the vinyls. I was not checking for them when they released, but I've seen a lot of videos on them at this point and kind of wish that I had picked them up when I could. I was looking to get some during the Sephora welcome back sale. I didn't buy anything during that sale. Can you believe it? Who am I? I bought nothing because the only thing I wanted was the Charlotte Tilbury setting powder, but I couldn't think of anything else. And actually I did look for the Pat McGrath Divinyls, but the colors that I wanted were sold out. Just damn near all of them were sold out on Sephora. So I couldn't find anything else to bring me either to $75 or $100 to get the discount. So I ended up just not buying anything, which is unheard of. And I thought I had $300 and some left to spend to make it to Rouge next year, but it turns out I only need to spend like $141, which is still a lot of money, just not as much as I thought. So there's a good possibility that I might make Rouge for 2021. I don't know. Still, it's not a given yet. It's still not a given, but it's now become a possibility. And I'm waiting for, have you seen any new stuff that you want to pick up besides the Pat McGrath Divine Rose lipsticks? NARS is getting ready to drop their soft matte foundation. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited. That's September 1st, I believe, that comes out. Definitely think I want to get my hands on that. And unless they've changed the colors, because you know, even when you get them in a different formula, it'll be the same color shade name, but then the shade will be just a little different from the one that you're used to using. So, but they are going to have the shade that I actually have in their Longwear Radiant Foundation. So I'm just going to buy that shade and hope for the best. Okay, so this is the look. I'm going to go now. I'm going to release the Kraken. I'm going to take the hair out, put on some earrings. I don't know if I'm going to change my top or not. I'm going to change my top and I'll be back to show you the final look. Okay, this is the completed look. What do you think? I am super impressed by this little palette here. The colors are so pretty. I was not expecting it to be as dramatic and bold as it turned out. I wasn't expecting to do all this today. Really wasn't. This shade right here, this duochrome glittery one, is absolutely gorgeous. And it's really given me like Pat McGrath Rose Decadence vibes. Not the same palette, but this has a purple. The Pat McGrath has a purple, although it's a shimmer shade and not a, let's see if I can do this without breaking either one of them. It's a shimmer shade and not a matte shade, and it's got those beautiful peaches. It's got a peach shade in it, that dusk, peach dusk shade. But you know, it's not as peachy as the papaya one, and doesn't have a yellow, but you know, it's giving me similar vibes. Again, not the same palette. You're not going to get the exact same look, but it's giving me those rosy, peachy vibes, and I'm all the way here for it. Okay, maybe even I don't have my Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2 in front of me, but you know, I'm getting, and because I guess I've been using this palette, I've used this palette several times now, and I've used the Divine Rose 2 a few times also. So I've been doing a lot of peachy pink looks, and so maybe just the fact that this is a peachy pink look just has me thinking, you know, it's in the same vein as those. So I really like it. My little brushes, my little Fude brushes, this one is shedding like crazy. Okay, you're gonna have to stop that. But super soft. This one is super soft, but really soft. I was afraid this one, especially after washing it, might be a little too fat for me to bronze or contour or really do a whole lot with. But I think it worked out just fine. It blended out. It's picked up just the right amount of product and blended out so nicely, so quickly on my face, and gave me a really natural blend, a natural bronze. Also the bronzer itself, the Sephora bronze, it bronzed out so easily that, you know, it helped also. So, and this little brush here is super soft and was great for my cheeks. The little short handles just fine, and blended out my blush so easily, so naturally. Excuse me, blended out my blush so easily, so naturally, and so softly, and just, I'm loving it. I'm, like I said, I'm afraid of falling in love with these brushes, because then I don't want to get to like, oh God, I can only Fude can touch my face. I don't have Fude budget, okay? So let me know what you thought about what you think about the palette and this look, and how you think the brushes perform. And also the Laura Mercier Honey, I've talked about it. It was in my stuff I'm liking right now, favorites for August video, and now I actually used it, so you got to see a demonstration of it. And so let me know what you think of it. Have you picked it up yet? Are you planning to? And yeah, I want to thank you if you're still here. I want to thank you for getting ready with me today. If you liked this video, then please give it a like and consider subscribing, because I do tutorials, makeup hauls, swatches, and reviews every Saturday. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you again next week. Until then, bye-bye.